Pastor Paul Teske has over 40 years of ministry experience as a church planter, senior parish pastor, Navy chaplain, and seminar speaker. He has ministered in over 60 countries and has appeared on numerous television and radio shows. He has collected over the years a wealth of knowledge and understanding about kingdom work in different areas of ministry, and now makes himself available as a mentor to impart wisdom into those who seek his counsel. If you're at a place in your life where you need wisdom, invest a few minutes of your time and watch Rev Up with Rev.
Welcome to Rev Up with Rev. I want to share with you some thoughts from my heart that may be helpful for you. I want to talk to you about what I call the umbrella of God's grace. In Ephesians 2:8-9, it says, "By grace are you saved through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, but it's a gift of God." So if you believe in Jesus, confess Him with your lips, believe in your heart, then you're saved. You're by grace, by God's grace. And so for 20 years, I served as a Navy chaplain, and I did it with great delight. I love working with young people. And most of the young people I dealt with were between the ages of 18 and 28. That's probably 80% of the Navy. And I was on a ship in Japan, and we went all over the Far East and went into ports off and on. And the sailors used to hit the beach, and sailors, back then there were no cell phones. If you wanted to call home, you had to use a payphone. And so I've got two sailors out there that believe in Jesus Christ. They're walking down the beach. One of them is approached by another sailor, and he says, "Can you loan me a quarter to call home?" And he thinks, I need this $2 in my pocket, so he says a little white lie. He says, "I don't have any money." All right? And then at the same time this is going on, you got another sailor that's kind of slipped in a moment of weakness, and he's gotten with a woman of the night, and he's gone upstairs to her hotel room, and he's about to pay for sex. Horrible thing to do, right? And just as both of them one's telling a little white lie and the other one is engaging in an act of sexual impurity, an earthquake hits and the building collapses and kills both of them. So I would ask these young sailors, I'd say, okay, which one went to heaven and which one didn't? And they'd struggle with this and they struggle with it, and they think, okay, one sin wasn't as bad as the other one. And at the end of the day, they'd look to me and say, well, what do you say? And I'd say, look, they were both under an umbrella of God's grace. By the blood of Christ, their sins were forgiven. There was no interim between when they're forgiven and when they're not. If you believe in Jesus Christ, even in the midst of a sin, the grace of God is sufficient to cover a multitude of sins. So they both go to heaven if they believe in Jesus Christ. And they'd look at me like, wow, that's kind of strange. But I'd say, no, is it really strange? Think about it. Aren't we not right now covered by God's grace? And in the midst of our broken life, even if we're sinning right now, regardless of what the sin is, wouldn't God's grace be sufficient to take us to heaven? And my response is absolutely. So the purpose of this talk is to help us understand that the grace of God doesn't give us license to sin, but covers a multitude of sins in our life. And you need to have that peace of mind that if you were to die right now, you'd go to heaven because the blood of Christ covered all your sins. You're a child of God, robed in His righteousness forever and ever. Understand grace and the fullness of the joy that comes with understanding grace.
Thanks for taking the time to watch our weekly Rev Up with Rev. If you have a topic question, please email us at info@paulteske.com, and we'll respond by blog, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out our website at paulteske.com. God bless and have a great day.